Hey, 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 it's Wasp UK. Sting! Welcome to my 7th video in a series of videos of how do race sims of the past compare to today's offerings. So I'm taking old games from around, I think I started 2007, was the first game, Race 07, right through to the current games that we play today. And today's offering is going to be, as you can see on the screen, Assetto Corsa came out in about 2014, and then its successor, Assetto Corsa Competizione, which came out in 2019. Before I go any further with what the games are about, I just want to announce or let you know for your information, because a comment was made, all of the games that I have reviewed when they originally came out and subsequently since then up until I stopped, I have raced with steering wheels. They've all been Logitech steering wheels, the 15, 17, 19 and the 90 or whatever it was, right up to the most recent steering wheels, but not including the last two iterations, the direct drive and the last of the newest mechanical or belt driven offerings from Logitech. The reason I mention this is because there were some comments of how do you know what it's like to play this game on a steering wheel, etc. And that's how I know. So I have had the experience and I can comment fairly. The added benefit of my videos is that I'm now revisiting all of them on an 11-year-old controller. And the benefit that gives me on having an 11-year-old controller is that people that are coming into sim racing, etc., and or novices or new people, or people on a budget, will probably end up playing on a gamepad, and at least now you'll be able to have a review that lets you know what they're like. And I must say, all of the videos and all of the games have fared very well with gamepads. However, the older ones fare better to the newer ones, and vice versa on a steering wheel. With steering wheels, the older ones aren't so great, but the newer ones are, and that just shows you the progress, in development and design of games and where people are going. But I think it is important that the games allow for both, because there's always going to be someone who can't afford a steering wheel. Average cost beginner's wheel, £200-300 for anything half decent. Anything below that's going to be pretty crap. And then right up to silly money, £2,000-3,000 setups, even to a full motion rig. It can get quite intense and serious. Now back to the game. This game came out 2014 and I played it with my friends, and I initially didn't like it myself personally. I didn't like the way it drove, I didn't like the physics, and I didn't like certainly this UI menu. It looks like something someone knocked up on a Commodore 64 using a Word document. It's just square, it's clunky, it's unintuitive, it's nasty. It looks ugly. So we'll crack on here. We get to choose a car. We're going to have the McLaren. Now you can see I've already got one with my own livery. That was from years ago and it's still being held in the cloud. So when I opened the game it was there. The map we'll choose, which is fine. Then we've got our opponents, and you can choose all different cars for opponents. And then you've got a summary, just tells you everything, the settings you've got, etc. Blah de blah. And let's go race, show you what it's like. So that menu is pretty nasty. I mean, I flipped through that, but just looking at that you can see how ugly and square and bitty it was. Loading times for this game is pretty similar to all the other games, I must admit. On a 2011 system that I've got with a pretty high spec PC, they all load well and I've had no issues. Also, all of the games have allowed the controller to automatically be detected without any adjustments. So there you have the initial screen. Lovely rendering of the car, very detailed, looks good. However, if you look at it closely, there aren't many reflections of buildings or anything from the side of the track. The shadowing is quite simple. The actual track surface, although it looks good, has no real sense of texture with bit mapping and things like that. Although there is a nice touch of that heat sort of haze at the rear end of the car, that fuzziness that you can see, emulating the heat or the exhaust of the car, which is quite nice. The writing on there, the Richard Mille on there, is quite blocky. I'm currently running this at 3440 by 1440 at 144 Hertz on a widescreen monitor to give you an idea of the type of pixels we're using here. So let's go straight to the race. Outside view for the moment. There's the sound of the engine. Trackside crowd look quite okay. Oh, steering is abysmally unresponsive there. Trackside crowd is on 2D. Oh my word, it's like driving on ice. The physics for the cold tyres is just excessive to say the least. That's ridiculously, I'm not even, you know, I've driven a real McLaren on the road and, you know, even if it was dead of winter with thick as ice at minus 20 degrees, wouldn't slide around like that. There's your bonnet view. Again, the track and the grass and the trees are all pretty basic, nothing to shout about. Oh dear, I'm having to go really slow to get around the bends. The physics and that, look, it's just slippy, slidey. It's like someone's put butter on all the tyres. Not nice at all. In view, not bad. Steering wheel view's okay. Not enjoying it whatsoever though. Oh, full on brakes way back. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, dearie me. I mean, the physics are just, it brings back all the memories I had of when it first came out. It just did not drive. It took far too long for the tyres to heat up on the heat up model, if there is one. There's nothing to gauge how hot your tyres are. The grip is useless. It's oversteering. It's understeering. It's just nasty. I don't think it would matter even if I changed cars. And that weird zooming when you brake, it zooms in on the car. This is why I didn't like this game. Look how that's sliding and screeching. I mean, these cars didn't make noises like that. Not unless they were really pushed. It just doesn't seem realistic. There you go. What can I say? I mean, the cars look pretty enough. Couldn't really enjoy it because I couldn't keep up with the rest of the AI, which I set to like normal or probably less, so it shouldn't have been much of a challenge really. So it's just that there was no fun there, to be honest, to be had. And although the cars look pretty and don't sound too bad, I wouldn't say it's the best sound. It's just not drivable on a controller, and it was the same on the steering wheels. I spent ages trying to get the steering wheel right, and it was never perfect. Although my friends found that they had no problem, so I don't know. It's a bit hit and miss. So we'll come out of that, and then it takes you to the videos. You can see I've tried several tracks before in the past, and like just testing this and trying to make videos, but the game kept crashing, to be honest. So there you have it. That's a Assetto Corsa. Out of 10, 3, 4. Would I buy it? I'd probably buy it if I wasn't aware of what it was like, but if someone told me don't touch it, then definitely wouldn't buy it. So be warned, I've warned you, it's not worth buying. So we'll come out of that one. And I think what we'll do is, while we're quickly swapping from Assetto Corsa to Assetto Corsa Competizione, I would take this opportunity to say, please subscribe to my channel. I need people to subscribe, and please give me any comments that you might like, good or bad, or any suggestions of stuff you'd like me to do videos on. I'll be more than happy. And do give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or thumbs down if you don't. Right, so Assetto Competizione 2019. Let's launch this and see what that is like compared to its predecessor and to others like Race Room and P Cars and all the others that I've already done videos on. I would think over a 5-year period they would have made some improvements for sure. Unreal Engine. Now, the Unreal Engine that is out now, which you may have seen some demos about, has really come a long way to the point it's almost photorealistic. Lovely little intro. Don't know if you noticed on that intro just then, the bit mapping on the actual curb looked very interesting. It had a lot more texture than the last game. Very moody intro this, very nice. We'll skip that for the minute. And there's the first, look at that, pow! Look at the eye candy on that menu. So reminiscent of P-Cars. You know, super intuitive, nice big buttons, easy to go to, you know what you're looking for, options, gallery, save games, driver details, championship, career, special events, multiplayer, single player. It's all there in front of you, the stuff you need. They've listened to what people have said, obviously, over and above the last iteration. So, straight into single player. Lambo. Shall we change? This is our practice mode. Wonder if we what we got? Practice. We need endurance. No, endurance, we don't want sprint race weekend. That'll do us. We'll confirm that. Where's the? We'll have a look in a minute. Brands Hatch, I think we'll keep. Cars. Ooh. Different racing teams. It's all interesting. But we'll go with the Lambo. I like a Lambo. So yeah, let's crack on into the session. Here we go. Gives you a bit of detail there. The loading times seem very crisp and sharp. I mean, it's all a bit snap, snap, snap. Look at this. Boom. Look at that lovely view. It's telling us all we need to know there. Just want to basically start the race. Not really got setups, options and stuff like that. I might quickly go into the audio and turn the engine sounds down a bit so you can actually hear me on my video. I wouldn't want you to not be able to hear me. There we go. That's good. I mean, look, it's all very, very simple. It's lovely. I like it all. One thing I'll note about the controls is you in a lot of the games in Assetto Corsa you didn't have this. It didn't show this faded, like the operation of the actual controls. Now we're in the wheel section at the moment and it's showing you what I'm doing with the brakes and the accelerator, etc. But if you click on gamepad, it's not there, which to me just that just does not make sense. You're not going to naturally think, oh hang on, I'll be able to see what my throws are doing, my sticks are doing if I go into the wheel. So that was obviously a bit of a missed opportunity there in the design of this game. But other than that, much better than the previous setup for sure. So let's just go race.
Go in double file.
I'm liking the tyre model on the right there. Oops. Up those down, don't want those there anyway. I'm also liking the little radar of the proximity radar, which is also nice. Views are good, the steering feels a lot better. It's a rolling start and here we go. A little bit slippery, but not as slippery as the other Assetto Corsa. Certainly manageable, a bit more realistic. Oh, okay, AI's pretty... Oh, okay, someone's hit me from behind. Got a bit of damage going on there. Well, I'll just pause that for a second. And we'll go drive and into another view. I only pause that so I can find my buttons on the controller. Views of some of the artwork and the graphics in the actual dash and the stitching and everything is absolutely lush, I have to say. In helmet view. I'm liking the pit crew information talking to you as you're driving. Okay, nice bit of slide there, but certainly controllable and realistic. Got a bit of rumble on the feedback as well, which felt good. Give me a feeling of what's going on. Car on the right, just give me a little clip there. So this is all much, much, much better than before. Certainly a lot more playable. You have to excuse my driving, I'm trying to play the game and give you different views at the same time. But definitely
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
cut him up a bit. Definitely the controllers, well, it's a little bit over responsive, but that is probably just needs a little tweak.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, a bit wide there, that was my fault entirely, all the cars flying past me. Yeah, the gimbals are a little bit twitchy, I need to dumb those down a bit. But otherwise, I am enjoying this much more than the original Assetto Corsa. The graphics, the grass, the cars, the reflections all seem to be much improved, and the tyre model for the heating of the tyres and the discs is nice, and the radar, etc. The proximity radar is nice, the views are nice, the trees look real. The crowd isn't much better than the last game, but I'll forgive them that, as we're really concentrating on the cars rather than trackside goodies. And it's certainly handling like I would expect it to. Oh, I spun it, that was me. I just, oh dearie me, that was awful. So we'll get back on the track and finish this, we'll come to the end, and then we'll have a few final comments of what we think, and it'll give you guys time to think of what you've just seen, and you can decide what comments you'd like to make. Very important for me is what else you'd like me to video next in the up and coming videos, because I've only got a couple of more that I'm thinking of doing in this genre with the sim racing. That will probably be iRacing. I'm just going to stop that there now. I think we've seen enough there. Yeah, I think iRacing will probably be the next video, possibly. Although there's so many videos out about that, I might even leave that one alone. iRacing have boasted that they are bringing changeable weather as a new upgrade to their game. If that does happen, then wow, that's a real game changer, certainly. However, I do feel with their current graphics engine, they're not going to be able to carry that much further into the future, I don't think, especially when you consider how much everything costs to purchase in iRacing compared to other games like this. And I think there's better value for money to be had with what I call sort of ongoing series of games, as opposed to one that's constantly developed, unless they really do something significant with the graphics on iRacing. I think they're going to fall behind some other developers, and especially when you consider new games that are coming onto the market using the new engines and these photorealistic graphics. I think they're going to find it hard to compete. One in mind that is currently in beta is Rensport. I have contacted them to see if they would help me with a key or allow me to do a demo video. I'm sure there are plenty of videos already on there, but I would like to add it to my set of videos just to give you a comparison of what the future holds and what's coming up, in the next year or so. But if they don't, that's fine. That's pretty much it. So Assetto Corsa 1, or Assetto Corsa as it's known, I wouldn't buy. Assetto Corsa 2 Competizione stands up to, in my opinion, stands up to the test of time. It's still very playable today. I know it's still very popular. Compared to other games, I think Project Cars has the edge, because it's easier, certainly on a controller, and I just think the game looks prettier. Whether the physics are any better in either game, it all depends on what you're looking for. To me, it has to be a good combination of realism, gameplay, visuals, sound and fun. It's alright going in at iRacing for the ultimate realistic sort of game you can get, or I wouldn't call it a game, a simulator you can get, but unless it looks real, then it sort of deters from that slightly for me. And if it costs as much as iRacing does, again, that's not affordable to everyone's pockets, and it makes a big difference. Race Room is is one of my favourites, I have to say, because the core game is free. It's good to play. Controllers and steering wheels just snap right into place. Very playable, very fun, as you'll see if you look at the video about Race Room. Some of the older games, Race 07, Touring Tocker Car and stuff like that, it was nice to visit them, but compared to today's, they still stand the test of time. They're still very playable, but not to the point of being a decent race sim. Project Cars, Race Room, R Factor is probably lower down the list than those. Assetto Corsa I would put below Race Room and P Cars. And then iRacing currently around the top, sharing the top spot with Project Cars, I would say, until they bring out that new weather system. Then that might make them top, and then hopefully Rennsport will come along and steal pole, as they say. Anyway, let me know your comments. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, tell your friends about my channels, or my channel, and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.